Hi, it's Kyle from Bitewing Games, and today we're learning how to play diatoms. Now, a quick biology lesson. Diatoms are microscopic algae, and they create these phenomenal geometric shapes. These diatoms can be arranged into beautiful mosaics, which can be seen under a microscope. These are actual real-life examples. In the game, you are trying to create a mosaic to best please the judges. You'll be collecting and displaying diatoms, hoping to be inducted into their Society for the Microscopic Arts. The point of the game is to win, and you win by having the most points. Points are earned by creating specific patterns on your individual board based on the judge's preferences. Let's take a look at the setup. And this is a prototype, so your box or the components may look a little bit different than mine. Separate the diatoms into their 5 shapes, placing each shape into its own petri dish. Find the starting tile and place it in the center of the table. Randomly select a second tile and place it so the touching sides are the same color. Remove water tiles from the game based on the number of players. Remove 8 tiles in a 3-player game and 12 tiles in a 2-player game. Stack the remaining water tiles into 2 even stacks. Set out the 3 base judge cards. If this is your first game, don't use a guest judge. Otherwise, include a guest judge, either on the easygoing or persnickety mood side. Each player will take a slide board, score sheet, player aid, and 2 water tiles, which they will keep visible in front of them. The player whose left hand is closest to water goes first. On your turn, you will draw 1 tile from one of the 2 stacks, add it to your other 2 tiles so you'll have 3 to choose from. If either of the stacks ever runs out, you just have 1 draw pile to pick from. From your 3 tiles, choose 1 to play. Your played tile must touch an existing tile, and all touching sides must match in color. This is an empty water space, which can touch any other color. Each of your tiles is double-sided and can be played on either side. The back side is simply the mirror image of the front side. Next, you'll collect diatoms. If the piece that you just played creates an intersection between 3 pieces, you'll create a sample point, awarding you diatoms. If it's helpful, or if you just like having fun, place the microscope over the region to help you visualize this sample point. Using your player aid, determine which diatoms you earn. Basically, we'll break this sample point up into 6 mini regions. If there is a single region in a color, earn a circle of that color. If there are 2 of a color, earn an oval, 3 of a color, a triangle, 4 of a color, a square, and 5 of a color, a star. This is an empty water space and doesn't count toward earning diatoms. In this example, I would earn 2 yellow circles and a red oval. In this example, I would earn a red square and a purple oval. If all 6 regions are the same color, you will select 2 diatoms that add to a whole. So a circle and a star, or an oval and a square, or 2 triangles. And if you ever run out of a specific shape, just split that shape up into pieces that add up to it. So if you should take a square, but there are no more yellow squares, instead take a circle and a triangle, or 2 ovals. Once you have taken your diatoms, the player to your left can begin their turn, and you have until your next turn to place your diatoms onto your board. Each location indicates 2 shapes that could potentially be placed there. Place the diatom in any open space that matches that shape. There are no restrictions or adjacency rules about where a diatom can be placed on your board. Once a diatom is placed, it can't be moved later on in the game. And you can't choose to discard a diatom if you have an open spot for it. But if you take a diatom and there's nowhere to place it, then you will just discard it back to a petri dish. So turns will continue like that around and around until all of the water tiles have been used. At that point, the game is over. Your mosaic's complete. So on to final scoring. The 3 scoring criteria are located on the base judge scoring cards. The first is matching colors. Count how many diatoms you have placed of each color on your board, marking it on the score sheet. Then earn points based on those numbers. 3 or more of a color awards 5 points. 6 or more awards 20, and 8 or more awards 40. So in this example, I earned 5 points for purples, 0 points for pinks, 20 points for gold, 0 for green, and 40 for blue. The next criteria is for symmetry along the vertical, horizontal, and diagonal lines. You will earn 5 points if the shape or color match, and you'll earn 15 points if both the shape and color match. Starting with the vertical line, the inner ring matches shapes, but not color. That gives me 5 points. The middle ring matches colors, but not shapes. That gives me 5 points. And there's nothing in the outer ring. The horizontal line is next. The inner ring matches shapes on both the inner and middle ring, giving me 5 points for each. And for this diagonal, both the color and shapes match on the inner ring, so I earn 15 points for the inner ring, and also 15 points for the middle ring. The final diagonal has one matching shape for 5 points. The final criteria is for shape variety in each ring. So for the inner ring, I have these 4 shapes, giving me 20 points. The middle ring also has 4 shapes, giving me another 20 points. The outer ring has 2 shapes, giving me just 5 points. If you included a guest judge, you would add their scoring here. Total your score and the player with the most points wins. In case of a tie, the player with the fewest overall diatoms wins. And if there's still a tie, the tied players share the victory. And now you know how to play diatoms. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Until next time.